Hey guys, so with the dawning and some of the other events we've had where we've had to do some material farming, I'm reminded of a tip that I discovered way back in Destiny 1, for those of you who remember the exotic sword grind for materials and what a headache that was. I discovered something during that process that I wanted to share with people because I don't think everyone's aware of it and I haven't really seen any videos on it. So here I'm going to show you how to do farming nice and quick and make it a lot less painful. So I'm on IO right now. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. I'm on IO right now, and I have my Titan, and I have equipped the vertical shell, which detects basically both things on IOs, the chest and the resources, which in this case I think is the little crystalline plant or whatever it's called. Anyway, so if you have one of these that is able to detect whatever it is you're looking for, that's a great place to start. If you're a hunter, you can turn on your Keen Scout and kind of go that direction, but it does work a little differently. But I'll show you what it is using the best to kind of work backwards. So it says that it will detect these things within a 30-meter range of your person. So basically what that means is that your little radar up in the upper left-hand corner, that's just a little bit under 30 meters. And I'll show you what I mean. So right over there is a chest, right? I want to show you that it's going to pop up. You'll see how like that up there popped up. That's one of the resources, not the chest. But that's a good example. Now I'm getting shot. Well, there's a chest over here. This chest right there. See, now it's starting to pop up right there. And it's not quite on my radar, right? And it disappears right about that far away. If I go a little bit closer, it's going to eventually show on my radar. If I was a hunter, right, it would show up if you're using the Keen Scout. So that's why if you're using the Keen Scout, you can get a little lucky. But for the people who play Titans or Warlocks, the 30-meter range is roughly right about there. That'd be showing up on your radar. Now here's the trick. You can use your weapon to extend that distance, right, beyond 30 meters. Right? So, dang, stop shooting it. Alright, so here I am, pretty far away, right? And we can see that chest is right there, right? Now, what basically this does is this. It uses your gun's range, or your gun's optimal viewing range, as a added benefit to the range of the ghost, or your innate ability to detect things. So right now, we're outside of the range of my scout rifle. But if I move a little closer, right, eventually when I look down sights on my scout rifle, see how the crystalline plant's showing up now? When I let go, it's not. Even though it's outside of my 30-meter range, when I activate my aim down sights, it's using my gun range to help me detect that. So to give you an idea, if I can do this without getting killed here. So the chest is right there. And go a little closer. Right there. See, now it starts showing up on my screen. There it is right there. Now the cool thing about this is that using a gun's range, the best gun to do this, if you're going to be farming, is to use a sniper rifle. And here's the reason why. I'll get me lit up here. If I switch to a sniper rifle, right, so I'm looking at the chest. Chest is over there. Right. The chest is right there. Right, not showing up. If I use my sniper rifle, boom, it does. Right? And here's the great thing about it. So this is basically what I do, is I use my sniper rifle, and I will zoom in. And the nice thing about it, if you're using one of the shells that'll detect it, is that it will kind of highlight it even if you're facing the wrong direction. So I'm going to kind of move this, and you'll see that that icon is going to stick. And it's going to say, hey, buddy, that there's a chest over this way. So even if I'm facing the wrong direction, and I highlight it, you see all these things are lit up now. I see all these chests and all these resources that are everywhere. So all you have to do is just kind of pan around until, like, right over there is a chest. See? Right there's the icon. So I just pan around, find a direction, run that way, grab the chest, aim down sights on my scope again, and do the same thing. So that's the really great way to do it if you have a shell that will detect resources and things like that. Okay? If you don't have a shell don't give up hope. There's actually something you can do, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, so what happens if you don't have a ghost that's going to detect those things, or you're not a hunter with keen scout? Don't worry, all's not lost. So here's what you do. It is a little bit more difficult, but it is doable. So here we are on Mercury, and I am still my Titan, as you can see here. Eventually, there we go. So what you want to do, I still have my ghost equipped from IO, so obviously I'm not going to be able to detect anything like I was there. The shortcut is that you get those maps from Cade, the scouting reports. So here I have a scouting report for Mercury, which I've already popped. And basically what it's going to do, it's going to highlight those caches on your screen in a kind of similar fashion, but not exactly as if you had the ghost. It's a little bit more complicated. I should say, it's just not as easy as if you had a ghost. But this is the way you can do it, and here's how it works. So I've already popped this. As you can see, I've got the loot cache thing going here. I've got 3 hours and some odd left. Right now, the difference is if I was running around and I got close enough to it, it would show up on my radar screen. It wouldn't show up as an icon in my field of view, I don't think, but it should show up as an item on my radar, even if I'm a Titan. So here's how it works. You're basically just going to zoom in. Again, I'm using sniper rifle on the pie on the perch where you first land. And instead of having the icons showing, you see there's no icons indicating anything that's anywhere in any direction. You just kind of have to survey the land. Oh, see, there's a chest right there. Now, if you notice, if I look away, the chest icon disappears. It doesn't say, hey, buddy, that there's a chest over this way, you should go that way. You actually have to manually, physically look over the landscape and find those things yourself, which is why I prefer vantage points and things like that. So okay, so there's a chest, and it's way down there. You can see the distance that thing highlighted at. Like if I use my scout rifle, not working. If I use my auto rifle, definitely not working. But the sniper, because it's got such a long viewable range, it shows up even that great distance, which is pretty close to being halfway across the map. So anyway, so let's check it out. Let's go down there, and I'll show you the differences of when we get a little closer. So I'm going to switch to my scout rifle, and we're here now. I'm going to try not to die during all this stuff here. Excuse me, guys, coming through. Look out. Avoiding all the mayhem here. So we're getting a little closer now. Probably about halfway there. Still not showing up. There it is, right there. Right there, it started showing up. So you can get within pretty good range with you just using your scout rifles. Auto rifle still not showing. Get a little closer. Auto rifle it pops. So auto rifle is right about here on the crater, or just about past the crater a little bit, and the scout rifle is a little bit beyond that. Their ranges are pretty close. All right. So getting closer still, just using the innate ability of the scouting report, you'll see that it does indeed highlight when you get close enough. Now that's just outside the range of your heads-up display, and if I was a hunter, it would actually show on the heads-up display if I was using Keen Scout right after that icon lit up on the screen. A couple more steps and it would be on the radar anyway. So, like I said, that's the easiest way I know to farm things. Instead of trying to drive around, chasing everything and blowing luck, use the guns and use the ability that you have with the guns to kind of make that process a little easier. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like here in just a second. Okay, so putting it all together, here is just a short segment of me kind of doing what I do when I do this. So here is those crystalline plastic glass things or whatever. Scope in. See, there's a treasure chest up there. Fly up this way. Go ahead and make this jump. There's that. Zoom in again. Let's see, there's a chest down there. Somewhere. Let's see where we go. One there. Let's go get that. See how far away that is? It's way over there. So this is basically how I do it, and I kind of learned this, as I said before, the old exotic sword quest where you had to really grind and get those specific materials and stuff. I noticed that when I was firing back, because you know, if you're running out in the open, you're going to get shot at. And I noticed that every time I looked down scope, or aimed down sights, or whatever you want to call it, things would light up. And I was like, what the heck is that? So I realized that it was adjusting the range of my ability to detect these things by whatever, you know, visible range was on the weapon. So, needless to say, it made my hunting for those materials for the exotic swords much easier. So, here somewhere. There we go. Sometimes it can get a little confusing because you get all these icons and stuff. I kind of have to work with it a little bit. There it is. It's up there. Maybe I can make it. Anyway, so that's kind of the idea. You know, just run around, look down your sight, get a general direction, head that way, grab your thing, and kind of move on. And it makes it much, much easier than trying to, you know, drive around your Sparrow or just trying to, you know, have random luck and hopefully you can detect something within that short range. Anyway, hope this helps, and happy hunting.